My cookies are done. Oh, finally. Okay. Oh! They cooked too long. Oh, man. And I'm out of cookie dough. I'm gonna have to make some more. I was so looking forward to a delicious chocolate chip cookie. But I've got all the ingredients to make some more. All right, we got the flour, sugar, the baking soda, the salt, the brown sugar, eggs, butter, vanilla, some walnuts. What else do we need? Oh yes, chocolate chips. Now we're ready to bake. Today, we're going to do a 3 reads math problem. All good mathematicians, and even readers and writers, will make a movie in their head while thinking and solving a problem. This helps paint a picture of what's really happening. And that picture is essential to understanding and solving a mathematical problem. In a 3 reads problem, you're going to read the story 3 times, each time for a different, important mathematical purpose. For the first read, you're going to focus on understanding what's actually happening in the story. For the second read, you're going to focus on the numbers and what each number represents. Finally, in the third read, I want you to focus on the math questions being asked. Sometimes you'll know the question, and sometimes you will be coming up with the questions yourself. Let's begin. The first time we're going to read the problem, we're going to ask, what do we notice? Let's read it. Ivan and Josie were baking chocolate chip cookies. They need to increase the recipe to have enough cookies for their family. The recipe requires some cups of brown sugar and some cups of chocolate chips. I want you to hit pause and write down some things that you notice in this problem. Now let's read the story a second time. This time, we're going to focus on what numbers do you notice and what each number represents. Let's read it. Ivan and Josie were baking chocolate chip cookies. They need to double the recipe to have enough cookies for their family. The recipe requires 1/4 cups of brown sugar and 2/3 cups of chocolate chips. Hit pause, and I want you to write down each number you notice in this problem and what each number represents. Go ahead and hit pause. You should have noticed the number double, which represents the number 2. And that means there were 2 recipes, and we're going to make it twice. You should have also noticed the number 1/4 cups of brown sugar, and you should have noticed the number 2/3 cups of chocolate chips. In my picture down below, the brown sugar represents 1/4 of a cup. And the cups of chocolate chips, each of those little cups is 1/3 of a cup. So there's 1/3, 2/3. Okay. Now we're going to read it a third time. This time, I want you to focus on what math questions you could ask. In this problem, you could ask questions of getting more, bringing together, or comparing. Let's read it again. Ivan and Josie were baking chocolate chip cookies. They need to double the recipe to have enough cookies for their family. The recipe requires 1/4 cups of brown sugar and 2/3 cups of chocolate chips. I want you to hit pause and write down some math questions you might ask from this story. Go ahead and hit pause and write your questions. Here's some questions you might have asked. How much of each ingredient will they need for a double recipe? You could have asked, how many cups of both ingredients will they need in all? You might have asked, how many more cups of chocolate chips will they need than brown sugar? There might have even been questions that you came up with that I didn't think of. We're going to focus on this question in our story. How much of each ingredient will they need for a double recipe? Let's read it one last time. Ivan and Josie were baking chocolate chip cookies. They need to double the recipe to have enough cookies for their family. The recipe requires 1/4 cups of brown sugar and 2/3 cups of chocolate chips. How much of each ingredient will they need for a double recipe? Go ahead and take a few minutes to solve using any strategy you can. And when you're done, be prepared to share your answer with somebody and explain how you solved it. Good luck.